I'd like to introduce Kane Weekes. He is a very well-regarded photographer in the Illawarra area and has photographed thousands and thousands of homes. So I thought it'd be nice to sit down and have a chat with Kane about some of his thoughts. Occasionally, Kane, when I'm looking at selling a home, an owner has had photos taken from their friends or family and they're considering using those for the marketing. I'd really like to hear what your thoughts are regarding them using those photos.
I had an experience a number of years ago. It was probably 6 or 7 years ago. It's probably around 2008. I was sort of halfway through the career that I've had at the moment. I started in 2001, and a client called me up, and the vendor had the property on the market for about 3 or 4 months, and they weren't having any success. And the agent said, "Look, I'll share what's gone on," and the property had been on the market. And they said, "Look, we'll just let you know they were using their own photos because the vendor felt that they didn't really need to invest any money in the photography side of the business because anyone could take a photo. They thought they would have a go and photograph their house, give it to the agent. The agent, previous to my client, accepted the photos and put the property on the market. So we're 3 to 4 months into the campaign, and I got a call and said, "Can you come down?" Yep, we booked a session and we photographed the house. The vendor was there with me at the time, and they were asking me the questions. "Oh, Kane, like, I was really having trouble in this room taking some photos, and it's really dark, and it was really narrow." And I said, "Well, look, I'll share some stuff with you. Like, we use equipment that's specialised for interior photography. My passion and my experience is I only do houses and interiors." And they were quite taken aback, like, "Can you make a living out of this?" And I go, "Well, it's a funny question that we often have with a vendor, is we laugh a bit. I go, "Look, yeah, that's what I do. That's all I do every day, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day." So I was sharing with the vendor from room to room how we shoot the house. I said, "Look, we compose, we do the 3 Cs, we compose, we colour, we visually clean, and then we take the photo. We go to the next room, we colour the room, we compose the room, we compose first, to make sure we've got the room the way we want it. We colour it. We visually clean it, so we set the room, cushions are ready, mats are in the right thing. You've done that with me plenty of times. The blinds are in the way they're supposed to be, and we shoot the room." So I've taken a whole bunch of these photos, and the killer photo for this house was the fact there was a glass wall, and there was a kitchen facing the glass wall where the pool was.
Oh, beautiful.
Now, the vendor had supplied the photo where the pool was washed out because they weren't using the lighting techniques that we use in a house, where we take multiple exposures, we send it to a company to get the retouching done, and they bring it back perfect so we can see inside and outside in the one photo. They were astounded at the difference in what they could do and what I could do. Rolling forward, the house sold in 3 days.
That's what I want to know.
So I rang the agent rang me back, said, "Kane, you'll never believe it." I go, "Why?" Because we talk to one another quite regularly. You know, we might do a job once a week with each other for 50 weeks. So we've crossed paths. He goes, "Joe, how'd you go with that house we shot last week that's been on the market?" I go, "Kane, I sold it in 3 days."
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And the vendor couldn't understand why. So, and the agent went through about the buyer had actually seen the house in the previous 3 months. And the price wasn't what was stopping them from buying the property. They hadn't even looked at the property because what they saw, they didn't like. So they were really rejecting the property from the outset because of what was visually shown to them through the lens. And whether it's my company or, we're all pretty much well versed in taking photos, the guys in and around my industry. I'm not saying I was the reason why it sold. I'm just saying I was the one that got engaged to help my client take the photos. And yeah, so I mean, I'd really encourage anybody, if they can, to invest the money in photography, because I think it's well worth the money when you're going to spend your money on lots of advertising, which the photos are going to be used for.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you telling us that story, and
thank you.
Appreciate your time. For more tips and hints, go to our website joanned.com.au.